Now, with this week being Small Business Week, what is the current business environment for Main Street financial advisors?
Well, that's a great question, Harmon, and I think the environment for Main Street financial advisors is actually great right now. We're in the tail end and still going strong in terms of an economic expansion in this 10-year bull market. And what a lot of our financial advisors are seeing is that there's never been a higher demand for and need for unbiased advice coming from Main Street American financial advisors to Main Street Americans, as people think about what their retirement needs are and investment needs are, as well as their client education needs, their children's education needs.
What are the primary things to consider for advisors starting their own practices?
It's interesting. We see the evolution of financial advisors here at Cetera Financial Group taking a lot of different shapes. Advisors just starting out in the business and joining and becoming independent, really the biggest thing that they have to have is a plan. Going independent and being an entrepreneur, hanging your own shingle is one of the greatest things that you can do in the United States, with over 99% of all businesses here in the U.S. being small, privately held with under 500 employees. But what that means is that the financial advisor, owner, and operator has to be the CEO, chief cook, and bottle washer. And you have to have a plan in place around what your operations are going to look like, your human capital, your business development, your operational efficiency, also your succession planning or exit planning to make sure that you're covering all aspects of running a highly successful small business. It's great, and a lot of companies start off as family-owned and family-held and small-owned. But what it comes down to is making sure that regardless of whether or not you're working with your parents, your children, or your brother or sister, you have to formally approach it. Have employment agreements in place. Have agreed upon procedures and processes that people are going to adhere to, regardless of if it's family or not family who's working in the office. Because what you want to have happen is you're delineating between the personal and the professional. And we know that there's going to be crossover because you're working with family, but you have to maintain that level of objectivity. And the best way to do that is through the processes, procedures, and having formal operations in place.
Can you give us a couple of the best measures of success for small businesses in and beyond financial services, some tips perhaps?
Absolutely, Harmon. And I think that's the great thing about, we might be working in the independent financial services space, but a lot of what we see here at business consulting and in practice management is applicable to any business in any industry. And I think one of the best things that people should do is actually have 3 or 5 different metrics that they manage to consistently and empirically. And they can include such things as like revenue per professional. How much revenue am I generating per professional in my office? It could be something as revenue per client. Maybe we're going to look at something like capacity planning. What's my gearing ratio? How many clients am I serving per support staff professional? Anything that I can start to look at consistently and empirically is going to help that small business owner maintain, manage, and grow that organization sustainably. What we don't want to have happen is that someone is haphazardly managing the business. Because if you don't have the correct financial metrics in place, you won't be able to pivot and take advantage of tactical opportunities or change if there's a massive movement in the consumer marketplace, and you have to adapt accordingly.
And where can people go to find more information on all of this?
Sure, Harmon. The easiest place is to go to our website. It's www.cetera.com, C-E-T-E-R-A. And across our almost 8,000 independent financial advisors, people can get the support and guidance that they need to achieve their financial objectives.
Great. Okay. Well, I think we're all set then. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Have a great day, Harmon.